help the community of people that have come together over the course of roughly about a year, and what it can do moving forward, how it's going to help us moving forward. Again, just to talk to you about how I actually got started with the Billion Coin. It was roughly about at this time last year, 2017. So I am coming up on a year anniversary with the Billion Coin, and experiencing the Billion Coin. And for me, I have to say, it was during a time where I was kind of having some rough issues financially. I mean, I was looking, I do things online on Facebook, in the, online community. And there was a business partner of mine that I was seeing, well, several of them I was seeing actually post information with regard to the Billion Coin. Again, that was earlier last year, around January. So I began to take a look at things, seeing postings that would actually coming up in the news feed. I began to inquire about the Billion Coin, how it actually worked, etc. And I became extremely excited because I was seeing so many people begin to have success very quickly with the Billion Coin and how it actually works. Now, I know there are a lot of people that have had levels of confusion because they didn't really understand the whole dynamic of it. They were thinking, it worked as other cryptocurrencies do. But I want to let you know that the Billion Coin is a dynamic coin. It is one that has special mechanisms, very different from any other cryptocurrency that is currently in the marketplace. It actually grows 1 to 5% every single day. That means it accrues in value. There is no depreciation with regard to the value of this particular coin. And it allows a community of like-minded people to make peer-to-peer transactions, to be able to just purchase goods and services that they may need. I've seen people purchase everything from, clothing, food, jewelry, the products, health and wellness products. I've seen people purchase cars. I have a business partner that was able to purchase beachfront property, homes, etc. This is a coin that is a global coin, and the initial purpose, and continues to be the purpose of the Billion Coin, is to end world poverty. I do believe that this coin will successfully be able to do so. When I first came into this particular wonderful community of people, it was roughly globally, roughly about 200,000 people, a little over 200,000 people that had actually locked arms and joined in order to promote the coin, get the information out to people so they could truly, fully understand how the Billion Coin actually works. And I am happy and elated to say exactly approximately almost 1 year later, we are over 2 million people, 2 million people into the TBC, the Billion Coin community. So it's an amazing thing. Just to kind of give you a history again about my experience with the Billion Coin. Like I said, I was dealing with some financial issues when I first decided to kind of take a look at it. And I reached out to a business partner of mine because I kept seeing consistent video that she was actually putting up in different posts and talking about the Billion Coin on Facebook. And so I reached out to her, and we began to just kind of discuss things. And I took a smaller investment, roughly about $200 initially, and I decided to put that amount into the Billion Coin. I saw initially from the first day, 24 hours later, as promised, I saw that the value of that coin had actually gone up. I began to look at it a day later, and became so excited because I was seeing so much going on with it. So little by little, I began to add began to introduce other people to what this coin was actually doing and showing them proof of how it actually had began to improve other people's lives while I was allowing my coin to accrue in value. At every opportunity that I was able to bring someone else in and kind of show them. I took them as I was allowing my coin to grow. I took them to my business partner that I actually had locked arms with and allowed them to be able to purchase coin. And in exchange for that, I was given a commission, which allowed me to quickly, as I began to promote the coin and talk to people about it, began to allow the value of the coin that I was actually holding, the TBC that I was holding, or as we say, anything less than one coin Kringles, to be able to accrue in value. So it was an amazing, amazing, amazing thing. And I don't want to be too long-winded about my experience, but I do want to let you know that within, I started around February and April 2017. I was able to purchase not one, not two, but three vehicles through for TBC. Again, like I said, I was kind of going through some financial issues, dealing with my child would just started going to college, so I needed to be able to create some level of finances for that. I was able to move, so I was able to purchase a car for myself, one for my college age daughter, and another for my son. So it was something that was very, has been near and dear to my heart. And I can kind of go back on my timeline and those dates and kind of show you all of those things and those changes around April of last year. Was able to move, was able to take what I was actually earning, put money in my account, be able to pay some bills, and be able to just kind of fluidly begin to live better. And again, that's what TBC was actually created for, to allow people to be able to change their lives financially. As you see a lot, not just here in the United States, but around the world, people are in economic crisis. They are crying out for something that's different, especially with the way things are going with regard to the job market, etc. People are just, a lot of people are struggling, and we know that that the way that regular fiat currencies are working around the world, they're not doing what's necessary in order to allow families to thrive. So again, like I said, I came into this community. It has absolutely changed my life. I've continued to be a part of this community. Initially, in the beginning, we were in a process of going, and people were making transactions and doing different things with regard to the billion coin. So right now, as we currently stand, we're going through a migration where we're moving from one blockchain to another, because as transactions began to load the system some months back, transactions began to be very slow, and it was taking a longer amount of time for transactions to go through with regard to people exchanging services and goods, for the billion coin or for Kringles. So in the process of this migration, we had our send buttons turned off while we were allowing this migration to occur. We are still in the process of that migration, and we're actually filtering in small amounts of people, little by little, until this migration process is complete. So in the process of that, we have a few people, roughly right now, I think about 1,000 people who currently have their send buttons on, who are actually able to still continue to do transactions, being able to allow people to not only come into the community and invest and be a part of this dynamic peer-to-peer network, but also to allow those who currently are patiently waiting, to allow their send buttons to come on as well, to be able to partner with certain specific people in order to still be able to do transactions, bring more people into the community, and allow a successful process. We don't expect this migration process to be much longer, but again, we don't want the systems to be overloaded, so it's going to be a filtered process. And once it is done, once this migration is complete, It's just going to be smooth sailing. Everybody is going to be able to transition completely over, and we're going to be able to continue to build this amazing community. I am totally elated what we've been able to do in just a short period of time, as far as I'm concerned. From 200,000 to over 2 million people in less than a year is absolutely phenomenal. We are actually going through a testing. We have testers, about 10,000 that have had gone through a process of being able to not only get themselves in a position to be able to test, but bring other people into the community. We're able to just use and utilize this testing so that we're able to utilize the bank. We have a major bank, global bank that is backing the billion coin. And when this testing phase begins to occur, those 10,000 people will be able to, go through and are allowed a certain amount of transactions per month that they will be able to exchange, meaning um, use their TBC coin and exchange for their current fiat currency, whether you're in the United States. So that means I'll be able to go in and exchange some of my TBC dollars and be able to get USD if need be. But I don't want that to be the thing that people actually focus on the most. I want people to actually understand what this billion coin actually is, how it can actually empower communities. Guys, again, as I stated to you before, people, I remember early on, um, people, communities around the world. I remember one specifically in the Philippines where people were actually struggling with regard to getting food and needing clothing and things of that nature. And I remember a lot of my business partners here in the United States, we were literally sending, because the Philippines, many of those people held a large amount of coin, and we were actually able to send over the products and the goods that they were actually needing to allow their communities to thrive. People were needing clothing, people were needing food, whatever the demand was here in the United States and around the world. We were able to do those things for those communities of people through that bartering service where we created an agreement, peer-to-peer network, deciding on a price for whether it be shoes, clothing, things for children. I remember there were lots of kids that were without diapers and toiletries and things of that nature. And we were able to really, really, really be able to do some amazing things, guys. And this is what TBC is all about. It's all about doing what's necessary in order to allow people's lives to change. So, it's very, very, very important for people to understand how the billion coin actually works. Don't look at it as if you're trying to see if it works like other cryptocurrencies, because actually it does not. We are a special community of people. You're not going to find us on Coin Market Cap, but again, you're not going to find us where the value of our coin is actually going to go up and down either. It is an accrued value, 1 to 5% every single day, with certain mechanisms that grow in accordance to the growth of our community. So it's an amazing, amazing, amazing thing. Again, it's going to be able to help so many people around the world. I'm excited to be a part of this community. It's one of the best things that I was actually able to do for myself, because honestly, many things that I was involved in, I do a lot of business. With regard to network marketing, online marketing, and I found myself earlier last year just at a standstill. Nothing that I was doing was being able to provide necessarily the amount of finances that I was needing in order to thrive. Again, like I said, many of us have gone through things financially. I needed something. I needed a break. I needed a change. And TBC was actually able to allow me to be able to do that, to take my life to another level, to be able to do some things that kind of take me out of the hole that I felt like I was in, and do some things, as I said, like I said, for my children, for myself financially, take my life to another level. I'm excited about where TBC is actually, how it has not only grown, but where we have grown from and where we are going. So if you have any questions or concerns or want to know more about TBC, how you can actually get involved, we are still doing where we are giving $25,000, I'm sorry, 25,000 Kringles away to people to, where it's again for a period of time where you'll actually able to come into the community. This is valued at roughly about $1,000 in USD. This wasn't available when I first came into the TBC community. So I would recommend anyone, again, it's something, a coin that is, these Kringles will be able to be offered to anyone. Reach out to me, 404-519-7590. I will leave my contact information below the video. And again, I'm just truly